Here, Meat, is where I think we find out, is Giga Chikadze actually sick? Because at one point, this guy was on a fat double-digit fight win streak. He was smoking guys, finishing dudes as tough as Cub Swanson, as tough as Edson Barboza, picking up bonus after bonus, and the guy seemingly looked untouchable. And then he ran to Calvin Kattar, and it was a fight of the night, but one that Giga really just demonstrated his toughness in route to securing that fight of the night, because other than that, he got absolutely smoked by Calvin. It was light work start to finish. The first round started with a lot of grappling. Calvin basically just held him down for 3 minutes, but the 4 rounds afterwards were seriously beat down for Chikadze, and he got knocked down a peg. He definitely got humbled, but that fight was at the very beginning of 2022, so it's been about 1.5 years since we saw that Giga beatdown, and you wonder if he's going to have enough, if he has been strengthening his toolkit ever since then, and will have enough to take out a guy as tough and well-rounded as Alex Caceres, a.k.a. Bruce Leroy, who is 21-13-1, 9-4 in the UFC, but is that a nice 2-fight win streak? He smoked our boy Juicy J, Julian Erosa. That was easy work, performance of the night, first round finish, and most recently took out Daniel Pineda, another fight of the night, and that was pretty easy work. And I think that although we've been watching Alex Caceres perform for about a decade now, this is probably the best version we've seen of him to date. His striking looks great, his grappling looks great. I mean, he's only lost 1 fight of his last 9, and that was against Sadiq Youssef in a pretty close unanimous decision. So what are your thoughts on this one, Meat Boy? Do you think that Giga is actually that good? He just had that 1 setback, and he's going to return and make easy light work over a true levels test like Bruce Leroy? Or is Giga coming back to a bad matchup, and how that fight went down against Calvin Kattar looks the exact same against Bruce Leroy? Who are you taking?
You know, this is such a tough one because, you know, you asked me this 5 years ago, I'd be like, oh my god, Giga is going to absolutely demolish Bruce Leroy. Like, this isn't going to be close. But nowadays, I don't know, man. It really does seem like Alex Caceres is really peaking in his ability, and he keeps proving everyone wrong when everyone kind of thought he was washed up after he got, you know, submitted in 2 seconds by bum Kron Gracie. You know, it's just downhill from there, but he's bounced back big time, so which is really cool to see. Can Giga do the same, or is he just another tool in the shed for Bruce Leroy to just shovel a grave for him? Because is he going to beat him with karate? I don't know. I got to go with Giga because I'm still hyped on him. I think he's the real deal. He took a lot of time off. I'm hoping that he figured out all of his, you know, his weaknesses and his amplified his strengths. Because if he hasn't, I think Bruce Leroy is going to run right through him. He's so good all around, very good stand-up, really good grappling for being known as a stand-up guy also, and he's really been showing that a lot more jiu-jitsu skills. So this is going to be one tough fight, I think, for both guys, but it's just whoever shows up. But I'm going to pick Giga by decision.
Yeah, I can see that for sure, and I'm with you all the way. I think it's going to be a tough fight for both guys, and I've been interested to watch the odds in this one because Giga is about -245 as it stands currently, plus 200 for Bruce Leroy, but a lot of early action has come in on Giga, so it seems like people were comfortable with that early -170, early -180 Giga odds, and have swallowed it to almost 3-1 now, so for me, that's a little bit too much juice, just given all the unknowns. I'm with you. I like to believe that Giga has spent the last 1.5 years really developing his craft, developing more than just that lethal Giga kick, because it seemed as though Calvin Kattar was unafraid of that kick and was able to expose Giga's holes in that contest. So hopefully he's been working to add more to his tool belt, so to speak. But at -245, I think that's a little bit too dangerous, given how well-rounded Bruce Leroy is. And if you look at Tapology, they're pretty much mirroring the Vegas odds as well. 78% rolling with Giga, 22% rolling with Caceres, and about 35% of the Giga backers have by KO TKO. Do you see any world where Giga is able to pick up one of those previously patented finishes of his? I mean, he did it to Edson Barboza, did it to Cub Swanson, but Bruce Leroy is pretty tough to finish. Any chance Giga gets a knockout?
Yeah, if Giga does, if anyone gets a knockout, I imagine Giga will get it. I'm banking Giga by KO or Alex Caceres by submission. If neither one of those hit, then I'm hoping Giga decision. I think it's going to go decision most likely, but if there are finishes, I think Giga KO, Caceres will be submission, depending on who gets it.
Yeah, I buy that, and I also see a world where perhaps Caceres grapples, makes it ugly, zaps the gas tank of Chikadze, and maybe gets a ground and pound TKO. Because I feel like Caceres' ground and pound and just work on the mat has really improved throughout the years, and it is, as mentioned, pretty difficult to stop Alex Caceres with strikes. If and when Bruce Leroy has been finished recently, and in the UFC historically, it's really only been by submission, and normally he just loses decisions. So in this one, Meat Boy, again, don't love the odds. I think that there is a lot of actual plus money value for Caceres because to me, this is closer to a pick 'em than what the odds suggest. But I'm going to roll with you. I'm going to pick Giga for Meat Boy. And I don't know. I just want to believe that our Georgia brother is as sick, is as hyped up and legit as we once thought he was. But I don't know. If he comes into this one and gets smoked by Bruce Leroy, then what do you do with Giga? I don't want to say BKFC, but it's not great.
Yeah, if Giga can't get past Bruce Leroy, he's 0% chance to ever be champion. He's 35. He's not getting younger. He really needs to go on a tear right now to get a title shot in the next year or two. If not, BKFC is right around the corner, and I think he'd fit just perfectly fighting Mike Perry for the title.